What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay Money, powered by Wager Talk. We got our guy Rob Veno and Marco D'Angelo, my guy. Marco in Vegas here, man. Glad to see you guys. We always trying to cash. What's up with you, Rob? Everything cool with you, my brother?
We are good, buddy. Ready to get into, now it will be game 2 for the next couple of days, right, of these 8 playoff series. Good time of year. We can produce some, kind of 50-50 results, right? I think 4-4 on the total, 5-3 to the favorite, and Phoenix barely survived last night as a favorite, right? Covered by half a point. Get the money, though. So, it's been pretty even so far. We'll see if things change here in the second home game for these teams.
What's up with you, Marco?
Well, Jay, I was looking forward to finally getting to the playoffs where I wouldn't have to worry about who was going to be playing, who's sitting, who's resting. Now we got injuries to deal with anyway. So, hey, it's a fun time of the NBA playoffs, and they're going to bring the best effort every night, but we just don't know exactly some of these lineups, what that best effort's going to look like. But we're here to handicap what we got, and we got 3 games on the card tonight. So I think we can find some money-making opportunities.
Man, I sure hope so. 3 games on the card, 3 handicappers to break them down, guys. We appreciate everybody for tuning in the chat as well. As always, I like to say, man, hit the like button, subscribe, share your plays in the chat as well. Also, always have deals over there at Wager Talk as well. We'll have a special promo code for you guys at the end of the video. And as always, it's $9 Mondays as well, man. Go check them out. An array of great cappers over there, guys. Let's go over here to the streets of Philadelphia here. We got the Sixers. Marco already alluded to it. A bunch of injury concerns here for the Raptors. Unfortunately, that's why you see this total come down from 220 to 215.5, Rob. Sixers land 7.5 here with their totals coming all the way down. You like some in this one?
Yeah, how quickly the pendulum swings, right, Jay? Because I think heading in, I'm somebody who have a series bet on the Raptors. And, a lot of talk was Matisse Thybulle can't play 3 games in Toronto. Well, all of a sudden, that's been leveled out tonight. No Scotty Barnes, most likely no Gary Trent Jr., going to the bench, Thaddeus Young. What it leaves Toronto, let's face it, we've talked about this a couple of times, Jay, how they play their minutes, how Nick Nurse uses their minutes, a lot like a college rotation, dating way back to that triple overtime game with Miami. They go 8 deep with double-digit minutes. Now you take 2 out of there, 6 deep with double-digit minutes. Their guard shortage tonight is it's tough. Armani Brooks likely to draw the start. Malachi Flynn behind him, and Fred VanVleet, and that's it for guards. They got bigs, but no guards. It's going to be a different. If James Harden doesn't have a nice night here, I'd be very surprised. But I think Toronto will try to use their size to their advantage, slow the game down, and see if they can get a grind out victory here. I think the total has come down to 215.5, but I still think there's some wiggle room there with the under, Jay. I think that this one, can we expect Tyrese Maxey, as good as he is, to go off the way he did last game? Can we expect Tobias Harris to go off the way they did? I think they combined for 64 points in that contest. I don't see another 131 to 111. I think this one slows way down. Defense takes over. The refereeing in the playoffs so far has been, depending upon what game you watch, it's a little different each time, right? They call everything. They don't call stuff. If this one, if the whistles get held a little bit and they let things go, I think this stays under 215.5.
And Marco, could you talk them out of it?
No, I can't talk them out of it. I mean, this is we said coming on off air before we were talking about the game. This is one of those ones that's got to be a correlated parlay. If you like Toronto, you got to like the under, because Toronto doesn't have the manpower tonight to get in and up and down the floor type of game, and they don't have enough offensive weapons, I think, to get in a run and shoot game with Philadelphia. So obviously they're going to come out and try to slow it down. Now, one of the things with the total here, maybe I can talk to Rob, and what do you think about, would you like going first half under better? Now, I know you don't get the benefit, they don't split it in half. You're always paying a premium for that first half, looking at the under. But the longer Toronto can stay in the game, the longer they'll stay with that game plan. It's a great game plan until you find yourself down 11 or 12 points at some point. Then you got to change what you're doing and have to start forcing the issue. And that's where sometimes the total can get out of hand on you. Now, you can get it the other way too. If it's really bad, sometimes, they take all the offensive starters out, and now you're sitting on a game that was flying to go over, and you don't get the points. But I think you're going to get a truer game plan for what I think is going to happen in the first half of this game. And Rob hit it about the depth of this Toronto team. This was not a deep team to start with. And even Saturday, when they had some of these guys on the court, there was only 7 guys that got double-digit minutes on Saturday. That's going to cause a problem, I think, in this game here. But we are seeing an inflated line. Remember, Saturday's number was 4.5. Now we're up to 7.5. So they've added 3 points of value here for us because of the injuries. Did they overcompensate? And the other point that I'll bring out with Philadelphia, as much as Philadelphia has played better since the trade and everything else, this is still a team that, you threw out one of my sayings, fat and sassy. They generally don't always bring it every night. This was a team that I, would find spots during the season that whenever they played a tough game, one that you thought they might struggle, when they get a win, I would look to go against them in the next one because they didn't bring that same intensity. And that plays out in the fact that after they covered the spread this year, in the game immediately following a point spread win, how about 14-23 against the spread this year? For a team that has a good record like Philadelphia does, that is a horrendous record against the spread. So I'm looking at Toronto in that aspect. In Toronto in revenge. Now, granted, in the playoffs, there's going to be a revenge game the next night every day. Or I'll go to Rob and say, hey, old school zigzag, we're talking about the zigzag theory. Well, Toronto was a good team in revenge this year, 33-19 when playing on the road in a revenge spot. So with the inflated number and the pedigree of Philadelphia to not always bringing the A game all the time, if you had to make me play this game, I'm looking at taking Toronto in the points.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Marco. Both of you guys as well, because in all honesty, I agree with you. I like Marco's angle there with the Sixers kind of sort of being fat and sassy. We know they're a team that likes to they want to get smacked in the mouth first, then they bring their best effort. And I kind of knew that they were going to come out with something in game one because everyone had been doubting them. And the Raptors, usually what you see when a team owns a team during the regular season, that first game for the playoffs, that's big for the team that was basically getting owned because they have to build confidence themselves. So I wasn't surprised to see the Sixers come out there hot in that first one. Hopefully they didn't, blow their load, as so to speak here. We know that there's 3 guys out. Gary Trent, which he was kind of horrible for the Raptors in game one. Scotty Barnes, now they're going to miss him. He's my personal rookie of the year. This guy really does mean a lot to the team offensively and defensively, right? He can kind of be their pseudo type of point guard out there. So I do think this game goes under. I think that the Raptors try to slow the game a little bit, slow the game down, make it a more physical game as well. It's the only thing with the totals are you have to need the refs to be in agreement with you. If they're calling a bunch of foul calls, then that can be the end of that. And the Raptors aren't the deepest team as well. So I'd like to lean Raptors as well. I do think we see a better defensive effort. So I agree with both of you guys. Marco, I lean Raptors plus the 7.5, and I lean with Rob as well with being an under type of game, defensive type of game. I don't see the Sixers getting those many easy baskets in this one, my guys. So that's how we look at this one. Let's get to the game of the day. My game of the day. We're going to the streets of Dallas here. We got the Jazz here laying 5 versus the Mavs, man. I don't know why I got it tripped out. The Mavs are getting 5 tonight, guys, obviously. But I like the Mavs here as the underdog. Buy hat engaged. The jacket is engaged. I can't tell because it's green. I got a green screen, but somebody's caught it in the show already, Rob. It said when Rob comes on the show, the Mavs win. You look at it as well. This has been one of the best teams in the league coming off a loss. The best team. They're 22-8 against the spread coming off a loss. This is a bounce back game as well. We get the home team as well that's down 0-1 in the series. basically get a must-win game. We can't go to Utah down 0-2. You see what I'm saying? Luka or not, they played a really good game, got out rebounded by 19 rebounds, which is really a ton, man. I think we see even better defense from the Mavs tonight. I think we're winning this game, man. Give me the Mavs here plus the 5, and I also think we'll come out with a better effort as well. I like them in the first half plus 2.5. Rob, could you talk me off, man?
I won't. I mean, if we're simplistic about it, right? You lost by 6 in game 1 in a game, like you mentioned, out rebounded by a ton. Did not shoot the ball well at all. Spencer Dinwiddie kind of blamed himself for missing 6 free throws, which, 6 points ends up, not that you're supposed to go 100% from the line, but could have been closer. You lose by 6 and now you're still getting 5, and the sense of urgency is there. That, in these playoffs, sense of urgency means a ton. We just got done talking about the Sixers. That game 1 was a sense of urgency. We're at home. We don't have Thibault 3 times possibly in this series. We got to get these home games, right? Sense of urgency swings here towards Dallas. There's a lot of times where the visitor comes in, they get one, and mission accomplished, right? We stole one on the road. We're in the lead now where home court is concerned. So I think Dallas will come fully prepared. It was a little different for them, Jay, in game 1 because, they're small to begin with, especially without Luka, even though he's a point guard. He does a lot of their big man work. And there was a lot of beat writer talk prior to that game that they were going to go especially small in order to try and remove Rudy Gobert from the floor. If you get an up and down game where Gobert can't compete, then you're better off on the boards a little bit, but you got to make shots and you've got to out track meet Utah, so to speak. I think Utah still got maybe one extra shooter from Dallas, but still, if that's the game plan, they had to feel it out in game 1, and now they should be ready to go here. Jason Kidd mentioned it, hit on it in a couple of quotes, how they're going to have to be a little bit better on the boards going small. But Maxi Kleber, I know it was his first game back. He was about useless except for one important 3. Then he followed it with an important miss. Maybe he gets better here. Dwight Powell, we can't expect much from him because there's a metric out there, Jay, that shows that when Luka Doncic is on the floor, Dwight Powell is a pretty good efficiency player. When Luka Doncic is off the floor, he falls to the 3rd worst starter in the NBA efficiency-wise. Luka does a lot for him. I know they're connected. They like each other a lot. But I think Dinwiddie, Brunson, Finney-Smith, these guys, they'll probably suck it up here. And like I said, I think, again, very simply put, sense of urgency in my mind rules here. You're at home, plus 5. You may even try a little money line here because they're not looking to cover plus 5. They're looking to go 1-1. So I think I'm with you on Dallas. We'll see where the total goes. I'm a little torn there simply because I think Dallas will try and push a little bit more in this game and take advantage of their maybe a little bit of quickness factor. Utah's not the fastest team in the world if you start running with them.
What you think about that, Marco?
Well, with Rob bringing up that they might want to try to push it, normally I would 100% agree with you, Rob. The problem is if you look at the game from Saturday, and full disclosure, I was on Dallas Saturday. I thought that they would come out, injured player theory, first game, Luka out. They had, several days to come up with a game plan to try to, play life without Luka. And the one takeaway from that game is they were in this game, down the stretch, but they couldn't make the key shot at the end of the game to keep them in it. Who was going to be the guy that was going to step up where Luka would be the guy in most instances? He's going to have the ball in his hand. He's either going to take that shot or he's going to get double teamed and find somebody wide open to get an easy look. Now they got to work for it. And my concern is from Saturday's game, you had 3 of the 5 starters that had to log 40 or more minutes. And when you got to the end of the game, they did look like a tired team. So that's the only reason why I would be concerned about trying to push the ball up the floor. Because if you got to log those extra minutes because you don't have a deep bench, do you run out of gas in the 4th quarter? That would be my concern with that game strategy. But I do agree with Dallas hanging around in this game and finding a way to win it. I don't know if I'm brave enough to go with the sprinkle route. It's nice to get that big dog money, but you know what? I got a team without Luka. Give me 5 points. I'll go old school and take 110 to 100 and grab the 5 points there. So I do lean to it, but my concern is the depth. If Utah wears them down, it's one thing to log 40 some minutes, 40, 44, and 44 were the three top guys starting wise. And then I think the fourth guy logged 36 minutes. You're coming back one day in between. It's going to take its toll a little more in this game, I think, rather than having 3 days off. You talk about Dallas being a good team, bouncing back off a loss. Well, they are great in revenge, and this would be another classic zigzag spot. Look at the Dallas Mavericks this season when they're coming off losing last time to the opponent, playing same season revenge. Exactly. How about 16-5 against the spread this season? And, I hate to use the adage, but it is true. If there ever was a must-win game for Dallas, this is it tonight. You cannot go on the road 0-2 to a Utah team. And let's not forget, Utah down the stretch was an absolute play against team. They were not playing good basketball, a lot of maybe dissension, a little bit of trouble in the locker room. That's not the type of team that I, want to back here on the road to get that second win because, as you said, Rob, their goal was to come in and get a split. They already got that. They're playing with house money tonight. Dallas is the team with their backs to the wall. So let's go ahead and look at the Mavs at home.
Exactly. +5 with the backs against the wall at the house as well. Will we play better? Excuse my French, guys, but the Jazz can't fuck with us. I saw this in person, even without Luka, man. The Mavs are the better team against these guys, man. They have the defense to stick with these guys as well, man. I'm getting a +5. I think the Mavs truly win this game tonight. So it's just me. It's no fanboy. I said as well that the Jazz probably get game one and then we come back pissed off. This is our role, even without Luka. I think we do this game with defense. And just real quick about the total, basketball-wise, if they're sending all 5 guys to the boards, they mean they're not really getting any runouts and probably won't get as many fast break points. So what I'm hearing from the Mavs, they're focused on keeping Rudy Gobert off the boards and mainly off the offensive boards as well. They're sending 5 guys to the glass to make sure they get the ball. Just that means that they won't have any guys flying out or whatever for the outlet pass. So that will lead to a lower scoring game, slower type of game, just basketball type of wise. I mean, anything can happen. These guys can go crazy from 3, but I'm just saying as far as pace wise, they're sending all 5 to the glass. They won't be getting a lot of the rebounds are more important right now than the fast break points. So they gotta make sure they don't get those, let the Gobert get the offensive rebound, kick it out for the 3s. Mavs are winning this game. I don't care. No one in the chat likes it. Mavs +5, top play for me, my guys. Last game up, let's go over here to the streets of San Francisco. We got the Warriors here laying 7. Guys, I was on the Nuggets in the first game. They didn't look well. A big part of it, I thought Aaron Gordon was going to come to ball out. As towards the end of the season, Aaron Gordon realized that, hey, look, all of these smaller guards can guard me. If you don't really have a ton of rim protection, I can go in there and dunk every single time. You see what I'm saying? Or Aaron Gordon just bust, man. I'm not sure what happened to him. We'll see if he have a big night tonight, Rob. You like something in this game?
Yeah, I'm going to backtrack real fast here, Jay. I won't take up a lot of time, but that Utah-Dallas, let's just go back to it real quick. Utah had 3 guys, Bogdanovich, Mitchell, and Conley, score 73% of their points, take 71% of their shots. Dorian Finney-Smith, one of the best defenders in the NBA. Bogdanovich is his assignment. I wouldn't expect Bogdanovich to get 26 tonight on Dorian Finney-Smith. And where the runouts are concerned, I think we saw a lot of times in that game where Dallas tried to get to the rim with Gobert standing there, and they got turned away every time. So maybe they don't have to run. The running would be at opportune times. Let's get up the floor and beat them up the floor, but not necessarily 40 minutes. So a couple of things to think about there. Utah became a very 3-headed team without much production from anybody else. Gobert took 1 shot in that game.
They don't like him. They don't like him, Rob. Just side note, they do not like Gobert. They do not like Gobert.
They're with Donovan Mitchell then because he doesn't like him either, and he has to play with him. Denver, Golden State, real quick, as we're totals concerned, I don't know that much changes here. The total was 224, got bet down in game 1, I think totally based on Steph Curry's physical status. And the game's second half just went crazy, got over the number, hit 230 points. And I really don't know how that changes here. I think you're going to see another over. To your point, Jay, I was on 2 or 3 shows banging the table for the combination of Jokic and Gordon being the 2 best rebounders in the game, owning the interior points against Golden State. Jokic didn't have a complete Jokic game, which maybe he has tonight because Kevon Looney just is no resistance against Jokic. Right. And Aaron Gordon was a no-show. End of story, right? He has to be better, and I think he will be better here. So if they get the interior scoring like I thought they would in game 1, if they get it here, Golden State's perimeter is too tough for them. They can't handle these guys. And Steph, he had to shoot himself back into game shape, game form, whatever. Jordan Poole's been great. Clay was pretty consistent in that game. I think the perimeter points go to Golden State one more time. I think the interior points go to Denver. And I don't know that either defense has the capability of stopping either offensive asset. So I'm going to look toward over here. Again, it's been pushed down to 222. In the beginning of the year, maybe 2/3 of the way through, Golden State was one of your better defensive teams in the league. But that changed. The last third of the year, that changed big time. And I just don't know that they're that same defensive team. So Denver got to only 107 and the game went over first time. I think they get more than 107 here. So I'm going to try over again. The number here, 222, just seems too low.
What you think, Marco?
Well, I can't disagree with the total, but I'm going to look at the game in this one. And I like the Nuggets to bounce back here. Golden State, it's game 1 at home. This is a team that's playoff rich, history over the last how many years. You had the big gun coming back, although he played off the bench, and that's an absolute lift as far as for the team, for the crowd, game 1, all of those factors. Hey, they got the money. Now you're looking at this one, and normally, and I'd ask Rob this question, when you see these games and you go from game 1 to game 2, if there's not an injury, generally speaking, this goes back to the days where we talked about the zigzag theory and why years ago it worked so much better because the market got smart, got adjusted. How many times would you see the team that lost game 1, if they were getting 6.5 in the first game, they would now only get 6 in the next game? They would adjust because they knew everybody's coming in. They started to change the market. Well, here's one of those ones where Golden State got the money in game 1, and we see them a bigger favorite in game 2. Nobody giving Denver a shot to even this series. And is just like we talked with Utah going in to Dallas, their goal coming in is split. Okay. That goal is still in front of Denver tonight. They can still get that split. And I'm getting 7.5 points. I'll take the points here because I don't think they're going to get blown out. And I go back and look at the first game, and there's a couple of outliers. Golden State shot 52% from the field in game 1. Not only did they shoot 52% for the game, they hit 16 3-pointers, 16 of 35, shot 45% from outside. Now, we know how good Golden State is at shooting threes. There's no question about that. But if that wasn't enough of an edge, did they get a little bit of home cooking with the refs? 29 times they got to the foul line to only 13 for Denver. All of those factors lining up, and yeah, they lost by 16 points. I only got to make up 9 points to get me a cover here. That's a lot of things that got to happen again as far as Golden State goes. And I think the mindset with people are, well, hey, Steph came back. He played, limited minutes. He'll be better this game. Well, that's not always the case when you're coming off rust. Sometimes, in theory, you think you'll be better in that second game, but coming back with just 1 day in between, you haven't played for a while, might not be the case. I think Denver is the side tonight. I'm going to grab them plus the points.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Because I know I was on the Nuggets. The reason why I was on the Nuggets in the first game is because I believe they can hang with the Warriors, man. People saying the Warriors gonna win the West and all this. I don't see it, man. They're still a great team. And I mean they could go far in the playoffs, but I don't think it'll be just easy. People thinking that it's gonna be easy sweep. The Nuggets aren't a pushover. They still have one of the best players in basketball, matchup nightmare in Jokic. They didn't have a good game the first game around, but this Nuggets team are the type of team they're kind of like the Sixers where they need to get smacked around first. I don't know if it's coaching or if they just can't get a hold of these guys in the locker room. But once they get smacked around, they're like, okay, come on, let's bring our best game. You've seen it all year versus the Sixers and the Nuggets. So I'm with Marco. You're getting 7 points in the game where I think they could keep it close at the very worst. The Nuggets would be the only way that I'm looking in this. So I'm just not sold on the Warriors. And you know what I could see tonight? I could see Steph coming in because this is what I thought. I thought Steph coming back, he's going to mess up all the rotations. But see, they were smart. It was like, all right, we're going to bring him off the bench. We're going to let Poole start. We're going to let the same starting five. That's how you're supposed to do when you're bringing a guy back. But guess what? When Steph goes into that starting lineup, I know it's going to even more money is going to come in on Warriors, and that's when the Nuggets are going to cover the spread. So I could see that. I could see that coming tonight, my guys. So Nuggets are nothing for me in this one. Rob, any other thoughts on this game, my brother?
Yeah, real quick. Marco talked about the free throw advantage, and again, to my end, where I like total, Jokic shoots 2 free throws in 34 minutes, 34 and a half minutes. Come on. I won't use your phrase, Jay, but you know where I'm going. 2 free throws, guys. Come on. He's going to shoot more than 2 free throws tonight. He still had 25 points. Again, I think that both of these teams offensively just have what they do best. The other team can't defend. That's what it comes down to, really. And with Marco's point about the game going up to 7 after, with the visiting team now needing the win, these injury-based line reactions are crazy. Now Steph's probably a starter. Let's bet it even higher. I compare it to a quarterback in the NFL, but the quarterback's worth a little more in the line than it is in a basketball game. But that's really, in theory, that's what they're betting here. They're telling you because Steph is in, we'll bet it even higher now. So you're getting value with Denver, both of you guys.
Hey, I dig. Like I said, I got bit with the Nuggets. I hadn't bet it yet, but I might put a little something. I still got faith in them, and I'm still down the Warriors a little bit. So that's just me, guys. But and I'm still not a big fan of their coach either, man. But that's a whole nother conversation there, guys. Just 3 games, so we went through it. Hey, hit me up for shirts. NbaTalkWithJay@gmail.com. Got a bunch of shirts coming out, guys. You want to check out any merchandise for the show? I appreciate the support, my guys. We're gonna play a quick commercial real quick for some special promo codes for Rob Veno and my guy Marco D'Angelo.
Have you checked out all the new handicappers at Wager Talk and Sports Memo? If not, here's your chance. All NBA Talk with J Money viewers who are new to Wager Talk or Sports Memo can take 50% off their first purchase up to $100 using coupon code J50 when checking out. Even better, J50 can be used to double dip and redeemed once for a new customer at Wager Talk and once for a new customer at Sports Memo. Our new combined roster of experts is 50 plus deep, covering sports from all around the world, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem this offer is be a first-time Wager Talk or Sports Memo customer. Go to wagertalk.com and sportsmemo.com. Choose the handicapper of your choice. Use coupon code J50 when checking out and take 50% off of everything in your cart up to $100.
50% off, man. Go use that promo code J50. Works over there at Sports Memo and Wager Talk, Marco. Do you still have that special promo code that you had last time? Or what do you got going over there at Wager Talk? And what are you liking on today's card, my brother?
Well, it's $9 Monday. Check that out for sure. Of the 3 games, I got to say Denver's the game I like the best. And throw one last stat at you for that Denver side. As good as Golden State is, and we know that they're one of the most public teams in the NBA, obviously, because of Curry and everything else. This is a team that went 54-29 straight up this year. But at the windows, that's where it all counts, just 43-40 against the spread. So you're always laying more than you should be with Golden State. So you're always going to get that value. And I think tonight you're getting extra value with the Nuggets.
I like it. What are we doing, Rob? What are we doing here?
Well, for show purposes, we're going to play Dallas +5, Jay. Home team, underdog, in a must-win situation. And like I said, he only lost by 6 the first time. He didn't play a good game. Now, Utah didn't shoot the ball that well either. Let's be fair here. Look at both sides. But still, you expect a little bit better from Dinwiddie on the free throw line. You expect a little better defense out of Dorian Finney-Smith. And if Jay Kidd is focusing on rebounding and trying to keep Gobert from getting 17 boards, maybe cut him to 12, it's a big difference. Utah was, as I mentioned, 3-headed. I don't know. Is anybody going to come to help, or are they just going to go out and the same 3 guys take all the shots again? They had big games. I don't expect all 3 to have big games again. So Dallas +5 to me looks to be the way to go.
Well, I can tell you right now, Rob, I am not going to even try to talk you off on that. I can only talk you further. Mavs, the best team coming off a loss this year as well, 22-8 against the spread. It's good for 73.3%. The second best team are the Grizzlies, guys, but we'll get into that tomorrow. But for tonight, taking the Mavs +5, top play. If you really like, could have got +5.5. It's coming down. I agree with it. A slight chance Luka may play, but he's probably not going to play. We're not going down 0-2 at the house going to Utah, guys. We'll win this game. I'll say it again. The Jazz can't fuck with us. Mavs +5, top play today. I like Marco's play as well, man. Probably going to ride with on it. We're cashing today, guys. That's simple. Let's get some cash. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe. It's $9 Mondays every Monday over there, Wage Talk, not just this Monday. Go and follow us on Twitter as well, at Marco in Vegas, at Rob Veno Sports. You can follow me as well, at J Money is Money. We out, man.